We are live. No countdown on this one. We're doing a different setup every single time.
Every single time.
Different microphone, different streaming service, recording on the camera, recording here. We'll figure it out. I think in the meantime, we're...
hold up. You're recording on that constantly. Through that. You press record on that and it hits it.
It's pulling the feed from the camera and driving it to my computer.
Very cool.
Yep.
See, you're getting more technological over here and I'm getting less. My computer disappeared. Now I got a piece of paper.
That's awesome. I'm jealous.
I'm digressing.
This is, let's see, we're on 4 now.
What the
Episode
heck,
4.
man?
We're 4 days in a row, too. This is like our little nightly routine. This is the only thing that I have as a routine right now. I make coffee every day, and I drink water every day. And I give kisses every day, like to every single one of my family members, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. You're good at that.
Yeah.
Go you.
So,
you're winning.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is you have a good schedule.
I mean, I have to just like say that.
No,
but
no,
it's
no,
like
no.
I'm actually winning. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's not a competition.
I was just saying all that because you're pretty good at being routine for the most part when you want to be.
Yeah.
When I want to be, it's harder. I feel like.
Absolutely.
It's like it just kind of happens when I don't want to be. But anyway.
I think that this is just like you love this time with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
It's true.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
I love you too.
So, how is Brecky Breck going?
It is going. That's about it. And I want it to go more, but I have been trying to balance a lot of things, and so I haven't been dedicating as much time to obsessing. See, that's the word that you use when you're like, I want you to own business. You know? What was that? Like, don't do this right
I was
now.
going to let you finish. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
But it was me, like, I have a response already to what you're about to say.
Yeah, so Brecky Breck is going well. It's going as well as I want it to go right now. Let's just say that. Like, but as far as like, what does that even mean? Yeah, you're obviously.
I guess I was
right
asking like,
I don't know what you're
performing?
looking for. I saw your notes, but can you pull those back up because you just covered them, and I'd rather just read the notes.
How are videos performing?
Oh, okay. I don't know. See, okay. First of all, we need to say this. I do not have analytics on my phone. I don't have an app. Like, I literally... Okay, here's how I check how many subscribers I have. I go into DuckDuckGo, because I don't even have Safari. Type in YouTube. Wait for that to load. Type in Brecky Breck. Wait for that to load, and then I look at my channel as if,
as a
and then it says subscribe in the top because I haven't even logged in as a person. So it's
You're a spectator to your own.
So I'm a spectator to my own channel. So then I'll be like, wow, this has this many views, and Kylan's like, I can look at the analytics and it actually has more than that. This is just what's showing up on YouTube. It's like public. It looks different than So. That is how much of the business I run of it.
So what you were getting at earlier when you were talking about obsessed, I think this is a good.
It's not that I don't want to be.
Yeah.
There's that.
Well, okay.
I say that really
so
I do want to
I say that. So I have a version of what you said, not quite the same of what you said. I said, if you want this to be successful, you have to figure out how to be obsessed with this.
Yeah.
That's how I say it, because I think. There's like the reality of the game that we're playing. YouTube is a game, right? There's an equation for success. It's not one equation. You can approach it many different ways. But I think the bottom line for creators and successful creators, even on the range of the definition of success, whether you define that as someone who's having fun with their audience or people who have lots of subscribers, regardless of what perspective you take, I think the bottom line, the common denominator, if you will, is the creator is the owner of the vision, and they're the ones that are the most in tune with the aspects of the channel.
Well, and I just feel like I'm kind of just like, and it's just gonna here. It feels like I'm like a jockey on a horse with a whip that like is like just go, horse, go, you know. And I do not know much about horse riding, so like if jockeys do way more than I think, then
you like the
I'm
movie
so
Seabiscuit.
I love that movie. It's a good one. Go Red.
And you've ridden a horse a few more times than I have.
And I had horses growing up.
I've never ridden a horse still.
Yeah,
no,
but like the horse does everything, you know,
yes.
and so like the you know, there's people that own the horse, you know, but the jockey's just there to ride, and you can switch out jockeys anytime, you know. But like I literally feel like you're the horse and I'm the jockey, and I'm like, but I also own the horse.
But YouTube's not a horse race. That's the problem.
No, it's not.
So like traditional TV is more closely related to that, because traditional TV there can be this channel like a broadcast network, and they can hire talent to show up and do their thing.
Right.
YouTube's not that.
No.
YouTube is like the audience wants a deeper connection traditionally, and they want to be connected to like the heart of like
I know, and this is the scary, like this is literally why Brecky Breck is where it is. Okay, here it is. I have been scared to obsess over Brecky Breck because I don't know how. I don't know that I have super good, what's the word I'm looking, self-control of how much like once I decide to do something, I go like full bore.
Right.
Like, and
you're scared
you know
of how deep you'll get.
And I could get so deep into it that I'm like, so even me not having the apps on my phone, not like, it's almost a way of me just being like, and I said this at the beginning when I started it, I was so thankful for you doing the business elements so that I could like stay in like the like Brecky Breck mindset of like, I just want to be like a fun-loving, joy-filled, peace-giving mom, you know, like a super energetic character that can just like portray this message. And I feel like if I have to get into the nitty-gritty and the business and get like, you know, it's going to take away from my ability to do that. And that's what I'm scared of. And it's not necessarily true. I just feel that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's good. And I think that's the thing where you hear my feedback, and you think that's an opinion I'm giving. And really what it's me is playing the devil's advocate on both sides.
Right.
When I say, hey, you have to be obsessed. Have you tried out being obsessed?
Right.
Now, hey, you're a little bit too obsessed. You're making this about you. Have you tried out? Like, and I do that to you.
Yes,
and you're like, what should I do? You're waiting for me to give you an answer of what to do. And I'm saying, you have to own this. This has to be your thing.
Here's the
All I can do is provide pressure.
No, I know. So
like,
stupid.
no, like, like, really.
I
it's
get
like,
it.
what do you want?
I get it. No, it was just like, I want, like, honestly, this is like where I'm at with it. And you know this. It's like, I'm good with just producing the content and just keep posting. But as the owner and the leader, like, you have to inspire your employees or the people you're working with to come along and see that vision. And like, because you're my only person,
well, the challenge is
if I can't keep you inspired, then like you're like, I'm losing interest.
Well, and because
move on.
If it was sustainable, then you could maintain it.
Exactly.
It's not sustainable.
It's
You
not enough.
rely on.
I can't afford you.
Legitimately.
No, I know.
So it's not that I'm charging you and I'm like, you can't afford me. It's what I'm giving to it isn't sustainable because it doesn't pay for that. Whether that's
right. So if like someone invested a bunch of money, I could like.
Right, and so that's a fairy tale version of like someone invested a bunch of money in me, so I can just.
No. I'm just saying
hypothetically, if someone invested a bunch of money, we talked about this many times. Now you have an expectation to an investor. Right. So now you've taken it beyond.
Which that's kind of how I tick a little bit. Which I mean, and I know that you are my investor.
But that's what I'm saying is
using all of my resources here.
No, what I'm saying is if you can get yourself to get your gears moving without the real investor there, you could end up fulfilling the sustainability of the channel without having the pressure of someone else and giving away.
And honestly, like the last week, I have been way more adamant about finding sponsorships. I've been like, all right, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So I've literally been researching companies that I respect that I was like thinking about all the food that we eat.
Yeah.
You
I know, I
that
saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like
And
saw
so
it.
I was like, I was like thinking about the type of food we eat, like the companies that I support, like with my money to buy their food. And I was like, oh man,
Siete chips.
Siete
like
food company. Yeah, family food company. And I was like, if I could like, just like, because I really, like, I love all their ingredients, like all this. So I'm just like going to, and then also Slumberkins. Like that was a huge thing. I was like, I love Slumberkins. I love everything about them. Their stuffed animals are super sweet. Their books, like they've got like psychologists that are helping them write good books for kids that are like all about emotional health and support. And I'm just like, oh, I love that. If I could find those sponsors, like awesome. So I've been trying to like, you know,
I think the same challenge is there, though, to be a brand that someone wants to put money towards.
Yeah.
You start to you have to like check some of those same boxes that you would.
This is the other problem, is because I haven't been practicing the business mentality. When I've been approaching these sponsors, I'm like, I don't even sound professional enough at this point. Like how like you're the professional one, so it feels dumb when I'm typing out an email and I'm like, is this even like formatted correctly?
Right.
And like, am I even like, am I just gonna look like an idiot? Yeah. And that's when I'm like, Kylan. But I'm like, no, you can do this on your own, Breck. You don't need him. You're the owner of this business. It's just a hard thing.
Well, and I think that's the full circle I'm talking about. But like being obsessed is not lose yourself to it. It's you have to like wake up in the morning and be hungry to get better and learn more and learn how to present yourself and learn how to approach these. So it's like
and I
as
want
a challenge.
To do that.
And I think you do.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you're starting to.
It's just been a really slow process.
Yeah.
I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's been a slow going thing.
We have 4 kids.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I am the one that cares for them, you know.
I care for them too.
I take care of them majority of the time. And so I feel like there's so much pressure there. But the other thing too, I got a message today on Brecky Breck. Did you see that? Okay, on
That's
Messenger.
one of my notes was like
someone tagged me on Facebook. It's like, you know how like there's like viral things that go viral and then people like tag. Someone tagged Brecky Breck and I was like, oh, what? And so so I like click it and it was like this field of like yellow flowers and then there was like green it was like farmland, and it was like yellow on one side and green on the other side. And one of the moms was like, every time we drive by a field like this, my son says, Mom, it's a Brecky Breck field, because it's green and yellow.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's so sweet. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I'm honored that he thinks of me. Yes, those are my 2 favorite colors, and I love sunflowers or something. And so she messages me privately, and she was like, hey, thank you so much for like always responding to, you know, anytime that we've ever made mention of you or whatever. And she was like, she said, thank you for putting yourself out there vulnerably and being a joy-filled inspiration to children and adults alike. Children and adults alike. And I was like, I needed that. Thank you.
You're like, that's
literally what I'm trying to do. And so to have a mom be like, thank you for putting yourself out there and like being this joy-filled person. I was like, thank you.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
It was really cool. Well, I felt like my heart was like,
yeah, and that's cool.
You.
And I think that's the problem.
Also, when they're like, I'm so surprised that you comment back. I'm like, I am not that busy and also not that popular.
I mean, you're busy.
I'm busy, but I'm not that popular. So it's like,
yeah.
I get one comment once in a blue moon. So it's like, I got all the time in the world.
Well, and I think that goes into, like, theoretically, if you strip away, like, trying to play the YouTube game, what we're already doing is more than what we even set out to do.
Right.
I think the challenge is, like, there's, like, sustainable. Do we sell stuff? There's kind of this expectation in the creator economy for us to, like, fulfill certain elements, and there's pressure because there is a cost to it too. And so that's where we start to like try to figure out, and that's where this tension comes from, is like you're saying thank you for recognizing that's exactly what I'm doing, right? You're like, you saw my heart,
you see my heart,
and that, you know, let's pretend that it paid for itself and we weren't negative every month, then like there would be no reason for us to feel pressure to do more than what we are, other than wanting to grow our brand. Right.
And we're at the place now where it's like, you know, selling merch or doing something like that. It's like, it's like it feels like an ask, for
Yeah.
the fans. Like it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want them to just spend money, but it's also like, oh, I have to remind myself like people are excited to support us in this mission,
Yeah.
and that's a hard thing that I.
And that's the balance of just like really asking, and we've talked about this a lot, but it's like, how much is this for like the progression and good of what we're providing, and how much is this us just like saying like, oh, we're a creator, so we have to sell merch, and like
Right,
that
right.
would make us more money or whatever.
Well,
that
and
ends up being.
again, yeah, I mean, it's just hard when you don't make enough,
Right.
because you're like yeah.
So
it's
what are
extra
some,
stressful.
well, I guess maybe you can talk about like some of the ideas we've come up with to start to maybe move towards sustainability with the channel. Because again, or actually maybe before that, talk about like what your vision is for it long term. Like like you're happy with where it's at now. Let's say, what would you like to accomplish in the next, X amount of years with Brecky Breck?
Yeah, so like I think coming up with a sustainable posting schedule is huge because
Oh, I guess I'm not talking about
Okay.
like business. I'm talking about like the deliverable, like what you want to have accomplished.
Yeah. I think like by the time I'm done with this, I just want to have been like I want to have become more of a present dwelling being, to where like everything that I do is legitimately when I'm interacting with you and our kids, and I'm just not there yet, but like just in the moment, filled with peace and patience and joy and pretty much everything that Brecky Breck appears to be. It's like I want that so bad. Like I want to be that, and I feel like also just being that light that I really do truly feel that I am in dark places on YouTube. Like I want that to shine so brightly to where, parents can confide in that. And who knows where we're going to be 4 or 5 years down the road from right now in terms of like what is happening in the world,
Yeah.
and I want to stay relevant and hope filled,
Right.
So, but yeah, I think I don't foresee myself doing this for, I'm 30 right now, almost 31, and I don't want to be 40 years old doing this.
So like we've talked about that, right?
Yeah, so we've
what does
kind of
that mean?
talked about like the exit strategy, and it's like if I could work up, the next 2 years, kind of build up to a place where I could go tour and do like a fun live, like, even if it's at libraries, and just like tour around and do story times and meet these kids that have just like totally been, touched by me, then it's like, oh, that would just fill my heart so much. And it would be fun to just go travel and see more. And then if I could plan out like a grand finale of like, this is the last season, and it's like,
And you talk about it.
and I talk about it, and I prepare the fans for it. Or, another thing is like if I could, help produce some sort of like, I don't know, if there was some kind of like a book or,
Right.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Series.
Or something that
Yeah.
I could help be a part of to
Yeah.
help like continue this. And
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is just like, I need to right now in this season, I need to figure out how to like open up the communication with the fans. Like I need to show more of who I am as a person to the fans and the parents so that they can feel that connection, and
There's
they can
an engagement.
Yeah, I want to engage
Yeah.
to where they know where I'm going, where I'm at, and then they can like, oh wow,
Well, and that's similar, but not the same. Like for me, when I'm talking with people about my work, website design or marketing, and then they need help or like have a need or desire to connect with that, but don't feel like they, it's like I'm out of their league, or like I do things beyond their stuff. It's like I have time for you, and I think you're the same way. It's
Right.
like I would prioritize this
Right.
time for you, because
If
that
I
helps
knew-
me
yeah.
feel like I feel good. I feel better about what I do when I'm able to provide it. Like I said, I think in our last episode, like I would rather just do it for free. Like
Right.
I feel good about my effort and my work, like the work that I'm producing, going towards something that's useful. And so I think that you're like seeking that same type of engagement. It just looks different because it ends up being like you're saying fan, but the reality is it's like it's a mom or it's a dad that's like, hey, like my kid's seen something in you, and it's been a positive experience in our life. Like you being able to like double down on that relationship and like look them in the eye and say like, hey, this is awesome.
Well,
or encourage them on their like,
and I did a cameo yesterday for a little boy who's learning how to potty train and is afraid of pooping. And I'm like, this is so great because I've had 4 kids and Greta has had the hardest time. She had the hardest time going poop on the toilet. So it's like, I feel like I knew exactly what to say to this little boy.
Right.
And to where the dad ended up right when I submitted it, within an hour, he responded and was like, he tipped me like $20. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, he tipped me and he was like, it was just obvious. Like he said, the way that you spoke to our son was so encouraging and inspiring. And also you taught my wife and I a lot because I had said anyways, I had just given some ideas about how to,
Right.
And I was like, oh, wait, I'm actually a mom that has good ideas that could actually help parents parent.
Right.
Like, I feel like our kids are turning out well. And so I feel like, okay, like, anyway, we don't know. They're a work in progress.
Halfway done.
I'm a work in progress. But there's like, I've crossed a couple bridges and I'd like to be like, hey, this is a good bridge right here. This is sturdy. You want to come over here? Like, I'll help you, and walk them hand in hand across that bridge, climb the ladder and pull them up the ladder, that kind of thing. So anyways, that was a roundabout way of answering your question.
No, that's good. That was exactly what I was getting at with that question. So I appreciate that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
What?
Where are you asked the question about the stats and the channel. Yeah. I actually don't know.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that then.
We don't have to though.
I wanted to.
Move on.
I think it's kind of a fun thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fun thing. A lot of times people are. I think it'd be fun in future episodes to just like screen share, even like me going through like areas or stuff, and just kind of like we're not.
It's like, fun. It's a fun mile marker stamp too,
Right, and I think so many YouTubers like when they're pursuing like ad negotiations with like their paid partnerships or even comparing themselves, they like try to project themselves, so there's this element of like trying to hide like, oh, I don't really want to show all my cards because my negotiating power is gone.
Yeah,
and I think
we don't have any negotiating power.
Well, and I think we don't need, like, again, our goal isn't to make as much money as possible as much as it's to pursue sustainability. So I think there's an appreciation for the vulnerability that we can still achieve partnership with potential brands that would, rather than trying to get the most bang for their buck, they're wanting to support our efforts. And I think that's a relationship that I would rather pursue. And so because of that, I think that it would be fun to be even more transparent. Like, hey, here's where we're at.
Here's
like,
exactly where we're at. Yeah,
like you can see, like our BMX episode made 10 million, had 10 million views and
made 10 million.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
How much did it make though?
It just made over $3,000 over the course of, it's been what?
Yeah.
Almost a year. Yeah. And that's just our top
my reaction.
Video.
Wow.
Right. Well, and that's our top video. So like that sounds like, oh, 3,000 per video. No. We normally get like $45.
Oh, okay.
$45 per video.
Okay.
Yeah. So So
and we only have how many videos? 100 how many videos do you have?
Well, what's funny is, I wish I could share my screen right now, because like you go to like Social Blade or like Brecky Net Worth.
I know. I wish that those.
Right now, Social Blade suggests that we make anywhere between 1.4 thousand, which that's what we make, on the exact lowest end, to $22.6 thousand a month.
That would be.
I've worked with people, and
we have not made 1.4. We made 1.3 last week.
Yeah, that's true. So technically we're below the range.
I mean. Yeah.
And that's strictly because of YouTube Kids, where majority of our views come from YouTube Kids.
Not monetized.
And they have a pretty exclusive ad arrangement with a couple ad partners there that we are not a part of. So That being said, so looking at Social Blade, it's like a lot of times, especially if people know other YouTubers and then they like are familiar with what they make, and then they see like the views that we get, it's easy to make that assumption of like, holy crap, like you guys must be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's like, actually, you know, we struggle to pay rent every month. So there's that. We hit over 90 million views recently, so that's pretty cool.
I know, we're at 91
million. So yeah, we're
cool.
like a month and a half away from potentially hitting 100 million views, which is
That's crazy. That's
so
cool.
Which is crazy to have almost 100 million views and only 50,000 subscribers. Because like I'm looking at like people that have blown past 1 million subscribers, and they're don't even get as many views as we do.
We probably should have been asking people to subscribe all this time.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. Is that a plane? It's like the middle of the night, and there's like a loud biplane flying over. So yeah, I guess that's just a quick stats update. It's funny because like our videos, we'll have like random videos surge. That's like.
I hope he's doing okay.
Yeah, it's like legit. What? Oh, it's only 9, so I guess it's not that late. It's been dark for a while though, so. Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is our videos will surge. And it's kind of random. Like we can kind of encourage videos. We've been realizing with our latest cuts that like we can encourage like the type of engagement. The problem is it is totally, it totally plays in that like dopamine hit. So it's like the more we make it like boom, 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 it's like the video performs better. So it's like how much are we trying to like just be candy to get good views and good retention versus like I guess holding to the line of like we want to make sure this is something that's like a positive experience.
And I don't think it's wrong to. I think the little like preview that you're doing at the beginning of like I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Just to kind of give a kid a synopsis of what's gonna be seen.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's bad as much as I'm saying like I can see how this could be the beginning of us starting to go, ooh. That was a little tweak we made to like, what if we just keep and like you could just like end up finding yourself being like kids version of Mr. Beast, like hey, boom, like everything crazy.
Colors.
And then at that point, like you're creating. I think for us, that's always been, you have energy beyond maybe a normal engagement with somebody. You're wearing an outfit that most people wouldn't necessarily see in public. Those are kind of like the two extremes. The rest of the channel is pretty mellow, like, and simulating maybe normal experiences with meeting people. With like, like rose-colored glasses on, right?
Yeah, sure.
I think there definitely is a line where it starts to get like aggressive and unrealistic, and it would potentially encourage an unrealistic expectation from interactions in real life. So I think that's do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's like if we just like optimize the heck out of our videos and said we're just gonna like cut right to it, cut everything out unless it's like big tire, woo, crash, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Like we could make a video that performs really well and kids really like, but is that something? At that point, are we actually making good content to add to the platform of bad content, or are we simply just making more bad content?
Sure.
I guess is what I'm getting at.
Sure.
Because it's not that bad content means bad intentions. Bad content could potentially just be encouraging a unrealistic expectation for how we interact with people in our world. For our kids.
Sure. Oh yeah. Sure. I'm like, I was just getting confused about like me, like the way that I'm actually interacting with all the people that we've had in our episodes.
No.
It's like that's.
I'm saying that's good.
Okay.
What I'm saying is we could continue to optimize this to get more and more views.
Yeah.
And that could move further and further away from what we appreciate about what we tell them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what's going on with Brecky Breck
cool.
stats.
I love it.
You talked about your cameo. Any other like fun recent fan stories?
No, I mean that message that I got today was really sweet.
That's cool.
About the fields and stuff, and then the cameo was pretty awesome.
What about? So it's been fun because we've been starting to get, or I guess I should say, you've been starting to get recognized a little bit more in public. know this was a while ago now, but you want to talk a little bit about like filming monster trucks and
that
like
was so fun.
that experience and like having this realization of like being in a
Well,
public space.
it was funny because I was like, no one is gonna know who I am, which is totally fine. But then you get to like areas that like that's the type of kids that, you know, who's going to a monster truck show? The kids that have watched monster trucks
so we went
before.
and filmed the monster truck
So we went
episode
and filmed the monster truck episode at the fairgrounds. And like, you know, all the monster truck drivers are like autographing stuff, and it's super fun. And then yeah, it was just a blast. But then I like, yeah, there were fans that were like little fans, you know, they're looking over at me, and like the minute you see a kid just kind of like staring and smiling, you're like, okay, he knows who I am, you know.
Yeah.
Although I am wearing yellow and green, which is kind of like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
But I could just tell when they're smiling and like looking at it.
Well,
So
and they
it's
came and
cute.
talked, like,
yeah,
it
and
wasn't
then,
just,
and then
like-
there were
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when it was like people started coming talking.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was really fun because then I was like, oh hey, like this is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, so that was super fun, but that does not happen very often, and it's just fun to like. Yeah, I wanted to talk about ballet, like how being able to interact with,
Yeah, I'll
but
get
we're
there.
staying on. Yeah. Okay.
No, we'll get to
anyways,
ballet.
yeah.
Well, I wanted to do like Brecky Breck
Sure,
and
sure.
then family, like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Anyways, but it doesn't happen very often at our local BMX
Local
track.
stuff,
It's
yeah.
like, you know, that's one of our biggest videos, and
Well, and you've
a fan
had,
favorite.
as you've been growing, all of your friends that you grew up here with have been sharing your stuff. So I
Absolutely,
think, like,
yeah.
per capita, you have more fans in this region than
just because
typical.
of no, they're just friends.
Yeah.
More friends.
That's
in
true.
this region.
yeah. More friends whose kids call you Brecky Breck.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's in the works? What episodes are we working on? What's
Currently-
coming next?
Construction trucks.
Yep.
That's coming down the pipe. So cranes,
Cool.
bulldozers, excavators.
What goes into working on that?
So I just talk with the crane operator. I mean, it's just conversations with all the operators of the machines and figuring out the times that I can make
Navigating
it happen.
schedules for
Navigating
schedule-
schedules
yeah.
with you, with our kids, babysitters, that whole thing.
And then your brother's working on
my
song.
brother's working on the song, which my brother is so awesome.
Yeah.
He actually texted me and was like, "What song am I supposed to be working on next?" Because usually I'm the one that's like, "Hey Blake, like I kind of need you to get this song going, like because it's gonna be due here in a little bit." But he was the one that was like, "Come on, what are we doing?" Like because all of our songs are up to date. And so, anyways, he's just I love Blake so much.
Yeah,
he's been
been
awesome.
awesome.
So. I literally get so pumped every time he like sends me the song. I'm like, oh, I can't wait, and it's like always better like than the last one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like I'm always pumped about it.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sweet.
That's
Construction.
vehicles, national parks,
Yep.
and then an animal episode is coming down the pipes too.
And more bike stuff.
More bikes, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can
Love
never go
bikes.
wrong with more bikes.
We need to get when you get an extra $90, we need to have it produced.
The
our
bike
bike
song?
Yeah.
Okay. Will do.
Maybe I'll just borrow some money.
There's
from my
always
parents.
more. There's always more.
My dad is our biggest
expenses.
investor. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dad.
Yes. What? Okay. So what's today was a pretty significant day for our family.
Mm-hmm.
What was today?
First day of school. First
Actually,
day
here
of
let
dance.
me intro that differently. So last night I stayed up till about 3:30 working late last night, not taping, working. So
Little this, little that.
I was working
Were you?
legit.
Okay.
Whatever. I was working. I definitely like drank a lot of coffee, and we recorded a podcast, and then I like had some energy and just wrote it out. So I
Is that
slept
all
in
we
a
did?
little bit,
Yeah. Slept in a little bit.
and I woke up to the like intense homeschooling.
Was it intense? I thought it was really good.
It was good. It was good.
We had one child that was really struggling.
This is the most official. I think like they're at an age now where we're like, hey, we're gonna maybe approach this a little bit more intentionally.
I
right?
mean, yes, and I wish that you would have been, fly on the wall, because honestly, they were like,
Oh, I didn't mean that. I
Yeah.
just this was my intro, so I'm allowing you to like
Gotcha.
explain how it went. Now.
yeah, no, it was awesome. So yeah, woke up, I worked out before everyone else was awake. So then I took a shower and I felt like I am ready for y'all. You aren't gonna be more ready
My
for
lazy
me.
ass husband is just
I
snoring
knew
away.
I knew you had stayed up till super late, but so I was like, whatever, you do you, boo boo.
Yeah, it
love
didn't work out
What?
either. I didn't work out either. So
No, you stayed up late. So, anyways, but no, it was good. So then I made breakfast. While they were eating breakfast, we did our history lesson. Then we just smoothly moved on to language arts. And it was just really good. It's just like, it was like conversational. They're all this. I love having kids. So we had a kid born in 2013, 14, and 15. And then 2018. And so, but yeah, just homeschooling those first 3, like boom, 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 like that is so nice because I can like, they can all kind of, Miles is definitely way more articulate than the other 2, but it's like, I can move and adjust what I'm doing to Maverick, to Briar, to Miles, and it's like really great. And then Greta sat over there coloring and doing stuff, but she still stayed at the table and wanted to be a part of it and answered some questions that I was asking them, so it was really great. And then we moved on to math, and that was a struggle for one child in particular. So the other kids left and went outside and played, and then we continued. But the math was not a struggle.
That child is good at math.
He's good at math. When you ask him a question, he will legit just answer it faster than snapping the finger.
It's the why.
But it's the why.
Why do I have to explain it?
Why do I have to explain it? Why do I have to write it out? Why can't I just say, the answers and how this is where I just want to talk to you about the math? And I'm like,
which I was surprised because it was algebra. And you were like, this is algebra. I was like, this is algebra. You have to solve for n.
Yeah.
He was solving for n.
Right,
If 3 plus n equals 10, that's algebra.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And he was doing it. He just didn't want to he didn't want to be like, n equals, why do I have to say n equals 3? Why can't I just say 3? That's the answer. Let's move on.
Just why can't we? Yeah. And I was like, anyways, because you have to complete
and I think just the hard thing is like we've been
really lax.
We talk anti-school. Yeah. For the most part too, and so now he's looking at us like, "Are you guys hypocrites?"
Every phrase that he says is like what I said, and I'm like, "Okay, let's try to come up with your own thoughts that are not mine." And I'm like, I told him today, I was like, I am not gonna make you do anything that I don't think is worth doing. Like, I won't waste your time.
Right.
I'm not gonna waste mine, and I'm not gonna waste yours. You know, so trust me on this. Like, this is stuff that you're gonna need to know.
And I think all of our kids know they have a voice to challenge that too. Mm-hmm. So like, if they feel like it's wasted, they can like ask that, like, hey, is this wasting our time? Like, not that they would say it that way, but they know that they can like, why do we have to do this? They can ask why.
Right. Yeah, so we were done with all of that, by the way, by 10:30. So, yeah, it was perfect. It was so great. And I actually felt like it was like forward progress. It was really cool. That was day 1. Nice. So, and I'm holding out hope that it was just a good start.
And I think the challenges you ran to are just like they just have
to get used
expectations
to it
for what our day is going to look like is different now.
Yes.
Right. It's not even the schoolwork. It's just like I have to I have to do schoolwork.
Yeah. So. And once it's done, then we literally ate a snack and we headed out on an outside adventure and went and caught crabs and like did a bunch of fun stuff. Yeah. So it was like that miserable part only lasted for a couple hours and then we were on to the next thing. Right. It was amazing. And then, nap time, and then I had dance, ballet. I taught 2 classes today, so 9 kids in the first class and 10 kids in the second class. Greta was in my first class, so having my own daughter in my ballet class was so special and so fun.
She was beaming.
She had a ball
on cloud 9.
Everybody,
yeah,
like the whole class. Like it was. Oh man.
No, I just meant like all day. She comes out of nap and she like busts open my office door and she goes. She said something like,
ballet's happening soon.
Ballet's happening soon, yeah.
Yeah,
it was like, soon. And she's just like, I'm so excited. And then I took a picture on the deck, and she's just like, she got her feet all like sideways, and was like,
sideways, first position,
whatever. That's sideways. So.
It was super cute. So it was super fun. It was a great day.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was fun. Yeah. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was fun. And then I took the older kids to the pump track.
So I was at ballet. Yeah.
Yep, and that was fun. So typically,
and then you came and got Greta after her class because I had to stay there and keep teaching. So.
Yeah, so that was cool. Transition. I'm frustrated about the internet. Mm-hmm. So we've recorded. This is episode 4. I can't freaking upload any of these, and I was having.
Did it not upload?
No, it's actually. Let me look.
On your laptop?
71%.
For just the first one?
The first one. It's long. That being said, It's so what happened was our internet service provider got bought out by another provider. And then they went away with contracts, and like on the surface that sounds great, like cool, I'm not bound by anything. I think they did that so that they could change the service they offer without like, so we're paying like a monthly bill, and basically our monthly bills, we get a gig download, which is pretty fast. That's like more than we need download.
Okay, like what's...
But when we're content creators, we need upload speeds, and their fastest upload speed they offer is 10 megabytes per second. That is like snail pace.
So we need gigabytes, not megabytes.
1 gigabyte is really fast.
How many megabytes to get? What is...
Like if I had 50 megabytes per second on upload, I'd be happy with that. When we were in when I was...
How many megabytes are in a gigabyte?
1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's what I was looking for.
So in Vancouver, out of my office there, we had 2 internet service providers, and when you have fiber, the up and down are pretty well matched. Typically, it ends up being like a two-way. To my understanding, it ends up being a two-way. So I was consistently able to pull a download of around 930, and my upload ended up being upwards of 800 as well, which is insane. Like this, I'd be able to just like plow through uploads. It's becoming a problem now. Like I actually have to figure this out, because even with Brecky Breck, it's
I was
like,
gonna say, like, I want you to post an episode this
well,
week.
I got this new computer, so like my workflow and post-production process is a lot faster, but now I'm going to be sitting around like all that time's going to be eaten up by upload now. And then what happened was I was trying to upload one of the podcasts, and it aired out. Like it just took so long that it aired out. Yeah.
So being on the peninsula is...
It's a challenge.
Because we don't have...
But we had it before.
We don't have more options
it's
of
weird.
internet.
Yeah, so we can't get CenturyLink out here. That being said, that leads into my next topic of getting an office. I can get CenturyLink at my office, but whether or not they can run fiber there is the challenge. So I think that's a new factor that plays into my office hunt. Not that I think...
Downtown seems promising, doesn't it?
I think so. And what's weird, like I said, is I had good internet. Like at my other office,
right.
My upload speeds, I was able to get like 50. And here, even at our house last year, I was able to get like 50. So I think they changed their service, and I even went on their website, and it says 10, like up to 10, and like they're advertising as like a good thing. I'm like, that is so slow. That's crazy. That's so slow. But most people don't have upload needs. That's the problem. It's like download is like watching Netflix and like whatever else you'd want to do on the internet.
Right.
But most people don't have upload needs beyond like sending an email or something. So
right.
So that's a challenge. So getting an office is kind of something we've been talking about for a while. What's funny is we go in and out of I guess I go in and out.
You have an office and then you don't.
I have an office. I don't have an office. It's good to be out of the house. I miss being home. It's good to be...
Do you miss being home when you've had that office?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah, like the times where I move back to the house are the times where I'm like, yeah, I want to just be around the family more.
Yeah, I guess because you've done it for good stints where I'm like, but by the time you've gotten an office, I'm like, yes, like, woo.
Right.
Just because I kind of like don't parent fully when I know that you can also hear them and just step up and help out, So
there's
when
kind of
you're
like
not there, you know how this is.
You can respect the process
Yeah.
without seeing it. When you see it, there's like a micromanaging element of like,
right,
oh,
but
you do
but
this,
even
this,
then,
this,
but
this.
even then, it's like parents know this. It's like when your spouse goes on a trip or does something, you like muscle up and you just like turn
Like,
into a
I
superhero.
have to.
Like
Like, if
I
there's
am
no
going
option.
to like I'm gonna most of the time.
You can't be like, go talk to dad. Because he's not here.
Right. So you just like, you do the fun movie nights, you're doing all the things when the spouse is gone. Not that like you're gone all night, but I'm just saying like, so when you go to your office, I'm like, all right, dude, it is literally just me here.
Right.
I gotta do this.
And then the thing that I've always said about an office at home versus an office away is with young kids. When you have young kids and they see you're at home neglecting them, like I'm like dad's working, like why can't he play with me? I see him right there. They visually see that. It ends up being more I feel like it ends up being more of like a downer for them to like watch your dad not play with you versus like out of sight. Like he's at work, oh good. But it's like when kids walk in on me and I'm like whatever, like editing a website which they have no idea what that is, or like I'm listening to a podcast or something, all they see is like dad's just on his computer all the time. Like what does that even mean?
Right.
It would even be different if I'm like actively like sawing and like drilling and whatever else.
Right, but every time that they do walk in, I mean, you acknowledge them and do something.
Yeah, but they always ask, like, Dad, can you play with Legos with me? I was like, no. We're like,
they have 3 other siblings and a mom that could do it. But
I know. It's just,
I know.
definitely is
Yeah.
like, so that's a factor. Not that that's the only thing, but I think that's something that I remember that as a kid too. Like my dad ended up working from home, and like just having him there, it was convenient. And I think it's always like, at first it ends up being like a convenience to work from home. We're like, ooh, work from home, yay. But I think the reality is with multiple young children, it's better for both of us if there's this separation and like set separation.
Yeah. Well, and I think things are changing right now just because like we've got a schedule now. So it's like they know, okay, when mom goes to ballet on Mondays and Tuesdays and Fridays, dad is ours, and then I keep them busy throughout the day to where they're not thinking about you because they're busy trying to keep up with what I'm having.
Yeah. The other side of that though is like productivity for me. There's a feeling of like, it's like getting dressed nice. Like if I just
and then not leaving the house.
Well,
I know.
No, that's better than just not even getting dressed not leaving the house. So it's like kind of like, like I feel like almost accountability of myself if I have to like leave and go to work. It's like I feel better. Like I made the choice to come to work. Whereas if I'm like, army crawling from my bed to my office chair and like opening real quick while I'm making coffee over here and talking to the kids. There's not this like, I'm at work now. Like, here's my work hat. Let me put my work hat on.
Right, yeah. No, and then you come home from being at an office like, I got a lot of stuff done because I was there thinking I need to get this done right now before I go home.
Right. Yeah. So and then the icing on the cake, an office by myself is different than an office with other people there. Right. So being able to like have interactions that are encouraging work and improvements in the workplace, I think is something that I thrive off of, and why like co-working specifically is something that I'm a big advocate for, because a lot of people say like it's a distraction or it takes you away, blah blah blah. I think there's accountability in being around people, being able to bounce ideas off people, and then just feel that energy of like, I enjoy working from coffee shops to a degree because there's just like movement. I feel good, like my social cup's getting full. Even if people are interrupting
I mean,
me.
when you're fueled too, like you can spend 30 minutes on a computer and that 30 minutes was power packed versus like 2 hours and it's like about the same amount of work, but it was drudgery.
Well, and when I'm like at home by myself, I feel like I'm searching for like those social interactions. So like that's where, like I'll pull up Cletus McFarlane YouTube channel and I'll like watch a vlog or something. Like, and that's like, oh, this is my buddy. Like this is my friend I'm hanging out with today or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, not that like I have friends. No, but I feel like it does fulfill like the conversation, whether it is truly just background noise or if it is something that's like, I'm not getting this social interaction throughout my day. So this is a way that I'm able to like fill that cup. I think that's it. Yeah. So this ends up being something that
I love it.
Yeah.
I know that you love it too. Right. So that's partially why I love it.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I've been doing this thing for a long time. Called my dream board, and basically I had like a business mentor kind of person a long time ago, like how he was showing me his like real dream board.
When you said business person, I instantly went to that person that was trying to convince you to pay $10,000 to be
that was funny.
Business mentor.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and then I ended up mentoring him or her. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was fun. Some people are just desperate. So
and you just
I make a good subject. So like if you're trying to have a case study,
though, like I can't believe that person thought that you would have $10,000 to throw at business. I mean, you looked like you had your stuff together.
Oh
man.
Yeah, I did.
You could throw down $10,000.
$10,000. My wife is a YouTuber. I don't think we were doing that yet. That's the funny thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a funny story, actually. I wonder what him or her is up to.
Anyways, dream board.
Dream board. So different business mentor.
Where is your dream board? Why is it not pulling up?
Oh, I have it. Like, yeah.
You're just waiting.
Yeah. So So basically, I had this business mentor. They had a physical dream board, and they like put newspaper clippings, old school.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of fun. I love doing that little.
Yeah, so it was like,
collage
I want
thing,
this
middle
car,
school.
and they had the cutout of the car they wanted, and like, I want to build this guitar, and they cut out. I'm not rhyming. That was sort of legit things. And so it's kind of cool.
Cut out different types of wood to build things. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, it was. I don't know if I like immediately started doing my own, but there was a point where like I do daydream quite a bit.
What about? Oh, okay. Freedom Journal. Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Freedom Journal's more like specifically building towards one accomplishment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so that's cool too. I've only ever made it like 10 days at a time.
Oh, okay.
So and then I changed my. But the problem is I just changed my. Like I'm not like
I know.
there's not like I want to be a millionaire until I make $1 million. I'm gonna do everything I can to make $1 million. Like I'm not like I change my goals so often, so it's hard for me to like.
I mean, you change your goal in front of you so often, but not your end goal.
I want to be a good dad.
Like, no, I'm saying like when you can read your thing at the end.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
That's
So
what I'm
you
saying.
brought up the Freedom Journal, and I was trying to explain why that doesn't
gotcha.
work for me per se.
I see.
I like the idea of it, and I've prescribed it to other people that I feel like it would be helpful for, and it did the concept of it.
It's kind of like life coaching without the life coach, you know, like how because it does give you like a script of like what you need
and
to
it's
do.
every day. Like it's
Yeah,
wicked,
right.
and it's what I've been telling you. Maybe you should. I bought you one. Have you done it?
I don't. Because
Wake up every day. It's the
see,
the
here's
concept.
the thing. It's that tunnel vision thing though, because you know that once you know what I'm saying. Like I already.
But it can be. You can arrange it however you want it, and the whole premise is: are you waking up every day and reminding yourself what the things you're wanting to get better at? So it doesn't have to be something that's taken you away from your family. You can tailor something that wraps your family into that.
Yeah.
Anyway. I have this dream board. I created my own format for it because I was like, I daydream quite a bit. And like I get to these points where I'm like, I would like to, even like I look at houses all the time, or I'll go to Craigslist and just imagine I have like $1 million.
I
and like,
hate doing that, by the way.
Window shopping.
Oh my god, I hate that
Yeah.
so much. I will not go to stores if I can't. Anyways,
Yeah,
you know.
and I like it because it's like
Hate it.
What it does
You know
for
that
me
I hate it too, huh?
for the most part is like I try it on, and then after I try it, and this is so funny because this is exactly what we've been talking about in these other podcasts. I'll go try it on, and then I'll try it on enough like mentally and like to where I don't even want it anymore. And then when it comes time that like I actually have money, it's like, well, I know I don't want that. If I didn't go try it on all this time, I would think I want that, but I actually spent enough time like obsessing and mentally like thinking about this thing to where I like went through the whole cycle of whether or not I wanted it to where now it's like, nah, I don't want it. And so I think that's what, like, I do that a lot faster than a lot of people do.
Right.
Like I speed run my experience with something mentally.
Yeah, no, you kick the ball way down the court and you kind of look at it.
And like even think about YouTube, like with Brecky Breck, it's like I speed run like
could this be successful for like in 5
and then if
years?
it is successful, is that something I want? And then it's like, no, I don't want this. Oh, so let's just stop now, so we don't have to waste time.
Right.
I said that same
know.
verbiage in like one of our other podcasts.
Yeah, right.
Like saying, like explaining something else. So it's funny. I'm now relating that to even physical purchases.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so I have this dream
So
board.
do you have like amount of time that things have to be in your Amazon cart before you'll purchase it?
No, but typically they're in there for quite a long time.
Right, before you pull the trigger.
Yeah,
you
I've
don't
got carts,
just
I've got my wish list, I've got my save for later. Like I have, there is a sequence
And
there.
I don't even have an Amazon account.
Yeah.
I have to send him a link if I find something.
You don't
that
have
I need.
to.
I'm
You
saying like
send me a link.
I send you a link.
You're making it
'cause-
sound like you're like Kylan makes me send him a link when I.
No,
like,
I just
you can
don't
order whatever you
have.
want.
I don't have anything. I don't have Pinterest. I don't have. Anyways, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Okay. Well, I do. You made me a Pinterest. That's so random. Anyways,
Made you a Pinterest.
you literally signed me up for Pinterest one day
Why?
because you were showing me something. Was it furniture for our house that we were going to be moving to, the gray house in Vancouver? Anyways, you were
That's
like,
weird.
babe, here, I made you a Pinterest account.
People still
You
on
should-"
Pinterest?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Dreamboard, where are you at?
Okay, so Dreamboard. So what it basically, I created a format. My format is I have 2 columns. You want to like flash it real quick? So 2 columns. We've got a left and a right. Left is like more personal things, material things. Right ends up being more like accomplishments or goals with work or my community, like external things. And then I have different timelines. So
3 months.
3 months.
6 months.
6 months, 1 year, 3 years,
1
5
year,
years, 10
3
years,
years.
and then I have a spot where I write my happily ever after, my happily ever after,
Yeah.
and I write.
And our printer ran out of ink before I got to print that page. So this is my first time ever doing the dream board, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a vulnerable thing to be.
It is. So I'm gonna.
podcasting
You don't
about,
have
so.
to like say everything if you don't want to. I
Sure.
think it would be fun to just run through that.
Sure.
Because a lot of times things that like, especially if you do this long enough, basically what I do is I keep
I'm
my
gonna shop. I'm not gonna want any of these things by the time they come about.
I don't know. Like, it's funny because I go, I document it. I have this folder here, and like as you can see, like here's all my dream boards.
Holy cow, man! Oh, that's.
And so I have a sequence. I
Babe,
just
that's
create.
pretty cool. I'm proud of you. That's cool. So like you don't work out every day, but you at least like you're organized and you got all
As
your
I said,
systems.
if I work
your
out, like
systems.
what other
You'll
things
be
can I work on?
perfect. Oh my gosh, that's what he said to me this morning. He was like, "Babe, I have to like not be perfect. So this is the one area of my life that I'm gonna."
There's like, I'm slightly being
Oh,
sarcastic.
jeez.
Or,
yeah, and that right there is a huge problem in itself. The pride.
no, I understand
I'm
that.
so
I'm aware of it.
amazing.
That's not what I said.
I know.
What I said. Well, I finished clarifying that by saying I understand that working out is a dedication and it's a
There's
commitment issue that I've had, and I know if I do that, then it's going
There's
to bring
so
other
much
things
like
together.
time management
Exactly.
that needs to happen.
But if I start working out regularly, it means I solved the time management
So
problem.
then you're perfect. You've hit the.
No, that's not.
I'm
okay,
kidding.
Whatever.
I get
Anyway, so thank you. I guess is what that all
Yes.
started is. Thank
Yeah,
you
you're
for
welcome.
for.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, so basically, let's see. My oldest one I have documented is from.
we're
Oh,
on
it's
to the
exactly.
oldest
It's the same month in 2016.
Oh wow! Look at
I'm
that.
curious.
September's a good month to dream board. Everybody, you should. know
So,
it.
well, I have lots of Septembers.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good month to dream board.
Here's one in 18, 20. Anyway, so
Skip New Year's resolution.
so-
maybe it's just because it's my birthday month, and you're like,
I'm like,
I
wow,
need
Breck's
to.
turning the age that I'm going to turn here soon. So it makes me think about the next year. Maybe?
Yeah.
No, I have a bunch of other months. It just happened to be in September that I did the first
Okay,
one. So,
gotcha.
okay, so maybe what I'll do is just run through mine so you can get an idea for what.
You're doing your old one?
No.
No. Okay. Gotcha.
I'll like as you're doing yours, maybe I'll peek through my list, see if it's worth even talking about. But it's probably like get golf clubs or something. I don't know. So I do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months,
That's weird.
1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
and then what's your currently happily ever
I
after,
did not even get that far.
and what is keeping you from living your happily ever after
See,
now.
I just want mine to be yours because you're my buddy.
It's pretty good. Mine's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do too, and I changed
We
it.
have a lot of the same values.
I
too.
changed
Do
it
you
for
ever-
the first time in a long time.
Oh, haven't read it. Then.
There's just one part. And I'll get to
just
that.
one little line.
So basically, 1 month.
I hope it's not my favorite part. Butterflies. Every time you
No, it wasn't butterflies, by the way.
Did you write that though? Is it still in there?
Whatever
Or
I
whatever it is.
said, it wasn't
It
butterflies.
wasn't
But
butterflies.
yeah, I
We'll
didn't change that.
Okay. 1
1
month.
month.
Go.
Yeah, it is a vulnerable thing. Like
That's
I don't
what
even
I'm
wanna,
saying. I know.
So maybe I'll just cherry pick a few, and
Sure.
then.
top.
So 1 month tends to be more of like super thing. Like obviously it's 1 month, so it's like something that's
Let me
just
read
like
this.
I guess I got to come up with something. So maintain new schedule.
That's what I said. I said stick to school with kids.
Yeah, mine's more broad.
Okay.
Yeah, like overall, I have a new schedule.
Sure.
With our family schedule, I create a
I should
schedule for myself.
probably keep this on hand because I forgot that I wrote that, and that's a good thing that I would love to do.
That's what the Freedom Journal can be for you.
Oh.
The
well,
Freedom
it's just
Journal-
like read 2 books
No.
within the next 3 months.
Your Freedom Journal could be in 100 days, stick to your dream board. And then it points you back to your dream board.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, sure. And I am in the middle of a good book called Atomic Habits.
Yeah, but that's not helpful if you don't like build
No,
habits.
it is because I'm 1% better every day, and
Are you?
that will. No, I literally I'm 1% better than I was yesterday, and that will make me 37% better this year.
Are you, or
than I
that's
was.
the idea?
That's the idea of it, but
Right.
no. Today, like I do feel like I'm like that much better
Cool.
than I was
Okay.
yesterday and the day before. So
That's good.
Yeah.
You are not a smoker.
that's right.
That's where that
So,
reference came
yes,
from, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about anyway, it doesn't matter.
Instead of saying,
Instead of
Oh,
like when
I'm trying
someone
to
so like
quit.
if you're trying to quit smoking, instead of when
Smart.
someone hands you a cigarette, you're
or
like
tries to hand you. Just okay.
tries to hand you a cigarette, you go, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. That's one mentality. Or you can say, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. And that's changing your mindset of like, you don't have to say I'm trying to quit, because that's like acknowledging the fact that you
Unless
might
you
fail.
just smoked with that person yesterday and you say, I'm not a smoker, and they're like, who do you think you are? Or like you make them feel like crap because they're like, I'm not a smoker like you. Like I'm trying to quit.
Well, it's the mentality.
Anyway, that's a cool book. We'll have to check in on that later and see how your percentages are growing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so maintain new schedule. Fix truck issues. So we have some electrical stuff going on with our Ford. Buy Miles a new BMX bike.
Hey, done. You did that.
Literally, it's being delivered in the morning.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
Checking stuff off.
So is the order, does that matter?
No. Buy a new bed. I'm a little bit bummed because I wanted to buy a new bed before we brought our frame inside.
I know.
Did not happen.
I know. So, yeah, we've been wanting to buy a new bed for years.
So within
and
a month,
has fallen farther and farther away.
It's like we'll travel instead.
Well,
we'll sleep on the ground.
Our birthday celebration is coming up.
So
and
we could
it's a 21 Pilots concert in Seattle, and we were going to stay in a nice hotel and eat out and just have a good time.
What if we buy a bed, put it in the truck, and just drive it around places and sleep in our new bed?
Okay, so then that saves money on a hotel, and
we
just
pay for the bed.
Okay.
That'd be kind of fun. Or we put the old bed in our truck and drive that around, so we're not getting our new bed at all. That'd be kind of fun still.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
That's a cool idea.
But where would you park in Seattle?
Maybe we drive back and like drive up the mountain and stay the night up at Hurricane Ridge the same night or something. I don't know. We can go camping.
We could just could we fit it in our van?
The mattress?
Yeah.
And just like park in a parking lot, like super sketched out in Seattle.
Yeah, as long as it's enclosed.
Someone murders us in Seattle.
Yeah, no, let's
I
not
don't
do
trust
that.
Seattle.
Let's just stay at a nice hotel. Spend money. Okay.
Buy a downhill bike or a bike. Like my dirt jumper doesn't work anymore. My bicycle. Everybody has like 6 bikes in the garage.
I feel like it's been. I took it to the pump track and I loved it. And then I bring it home. I weigh 125 pounds.
Okay. What do you do on a bicycle?
Not much.
Okay. Do you understand?
Yeah,
now?
I know.
Okay.
I get it. I get it.
You.
But can you just leave it in one piece so that I can
I will
enjoy it?
get you your own dirt jumper. That I'm not jumping and bumping around.
Okay.
Like you can have mine. And
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
Well, it's a little heavy, but it's fine. I like it. I'll keep it. Sold.
You already have another bike, so you can just keep your other bike too.
Well, but that's for different things. Okay, anyways, go on.
I just want a bike that works for what I want to do.
Sure, I know. You're the only one in the family
that's on my 1 month plan.
Yeah. You don't even have a bike, so that's great. If that's the one bike that you do have.
20 bikes in the garage.
3 bikes.
And yeah. Okay,
well, one of them doesn't count.
Which one?
The pink one.
Are you kidding me?
That's a beach cruiser.
That's the one that's the most
like a
consistent.
Barbie.
You can jump on that at any point and ride it around the neighborhood.
That's true. It is the one that never has any problems.
It's got a flat tire though, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 1 month launch.
That bike is from our neighbor and it's for Brecky Breck. We're gonna paint it. So,
okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna go through all this. Let's see.
Launch
the mountain bike club. We had our first field trip.
You put on that first field trip, and I didn't even know about it. So you launched that, babe.
I know.
Look at you.
Wow.
Look at you.
Thank you. I think we should just end the podcast right here.
We are winning right now. This is fabulous.
Brecky Breck, 65,000 subscribers.
So now he's on to the other side.
Make an X amount of money.
Wait, so 65,000 subscribers by the end of this by the end of October.
I don't know.
We
just
can do
30
it.
days.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woodsman make.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, Woodsman.
Make a certain amount of money a month.
Okay.
This month, which is just slightly more than I made last month. It's a secret number. Don't tell them.
Is it? Are you gonna do it?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I'm saying, is it possible though?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it. I'm kidding. I mean,
it's not that outrageous. I made a little bit less than that last time.
Sure.
And we just spend it all. That's the problem. We're just big spenders. Especially if we're gonna get a new mattress, go out, do your birthday thing, get me a new bike.
Hey, it's your
all that's
birthday
gonna
thing,
disappear
too.
real fast. It's my birthday.
Well, your parents bought you the 21 Pilot tickets for your birthday.
It was
but
a trick.
The concert's
it was definitely a trick.
I literally, your mom called me and was like, "Hey, is this a good idea?" And I was like, "That's a great idea."
That's fine.
And then I looked up the dates and I was like, "Okay, that's on my birthday. That's okay. That's great."
Move into office downtown.
That's totally gonna happen this month, especially with your new coworker buddy dude.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see. Then register and launch Tandem, like the business entity.
Cool.
Totally
okay,
doable.
how much is?
$300 to register LLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So again, I'm just gonna power through this. I don't need to do everything. 3 months, complete 75 hard. I changed this to complete 75 days of my schedule because I changed
Okay.
my workout schedule. It's got a different
So you should
variance. to
type
it.
that then. But you're leaving it at hard.
It's fine. I know what it means. Like
Okay.
I don't need to. Buy Miles a full suspension bike, which gets Briar her bike, which gets Maverick his like.
Wow.
There's a progression
Okay.
there. Buy an inflatable jump. I'm like burping like crazy.
I know. How old are you?
That was like a grunt burp. I was like just trying to get it out.
Well, you were like burping like
between-
intermittently.
I
through
know,
your,
I
yeah.
know.
I wonder if you can hear that on this.
No, definitely can't pick it up. Inflatable jump. So that's like.
Backflips,
Yeah.
being able to do all the cool things that we.
Yeah. And this is 3
I don't
months,
wanna
by
be
the way.
around
So
this.
this is between now and January. I want to buy a BMX bike.
For yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to race with my boys. I feel unsafe now with how like good I've gotten on those track bikes.
Gotcha.
Like 100%. I'm not making that up.
200-pound man on a tiny track bike.
Yeah.
It's
I
hard.
need to get a bike
Got
that's
it.
built for me. Soup up truck and van. Let's just like get the racks. we
Soup up
need.
our Honda Odyssey,
no, no,
bro.
okay, well-
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Is that how you spell soup too?
I don't know. Sup.
Sup.
Sup up.
Sup-
Is soup even a
soup.
real word?
I don't know.
Okay.
Could be. I think it is.
Yeah. Anyway, let's just skip. This is kind of boring stuff. 1 year, buy or build a house here in Port Angeles, get a dog, travel an RV. Woo, high five. Okay, because you had that stuff too.
Oh yeah.
3 years, buy some acreage, do like regular family, like missional projects, not like mission as in like we're,
Missionaries.
but like we're serving people.
Yeah. On purpose.
On purpose. I mean, can
no,
you
I
serve
know.
someone an accent?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, you totally can.
That's not a bad thing, though, right?
No, it's not.
Okay.
But we're just like it's a mission.
Buy maybe another house in a different state.
Wow. Wait. Oh, I thought you put that all in 1 year.
3 years.
But we're on
No,
the
no.
3 years thing. Okay.
5 years.
I was like, holy.
5
crap.
years. I just write invest money and stuff. I guess. Like
You're
we get
smart.
5 years, and I'm just
You're
like,
smart. Yeah.
what? That's so
You'll
long.
be 36.
What?
You should
5
know how
years.
to invest in stuff.
5
You'll be
years.
35.
5. Yes.
So yeah, you
10
should be
years.
smart by then.
I have a whole lot written down for 10 years. Send our kids off into the world.
Oh my gosh.
And support our kids with
10
stuff.
years.
I don't know.
So the good thing about doing this exercise is just like you can mentally prepare yourself.
You can like visualize. Oh shoot! Like 10
Sending your
years, our
kids
kids
off,
are
and
like
then,
being sent
yeah, and
off.
so then
like,
in next year we do like in 9 years and then 8
so like
years.
yeah. So I do this regularly, where I come and revisit this.
Regularly.
I revisit my,
Yeah.
my dream board to where it's something that I can reflect on, and I have those moments of like, holy crap! Like 10 years, like our kids are gonna be out, gone. You know, and like even
Well,
thinking about
No, you wrote the ages.
5
so
years.
10 years. Hold up. You write the ages next to it. So 19,
10 years,
18.
we got 19, 18, 17, 14.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. So we're not sending Greta out into the world at 14, but that's okay.
I mean, when I was 14, I was
You
like
were self-sufficient.
No, I just was on the tail end of like, yep, like
No, I know. And when you have
riding
older
this thing out.
siblings, yeah.
and their older sibling, yeah, they're like
They just
Greta
kinda
will be
pull you
like,
up.
you know, someone will have a house or like traveling, and like we'll be like, yeah, sure, Greta, you can go.
Our 19-year-old will have a house. I'm just kidding. No,
I'm
who
just saying,
knows? I
whatever.
honestly wouldn't
Who
put it
knows?
past
And
them.
maybe they'll all be living with us, like.
Or maybe they all talked about buying a Sprinter van together so they could afford it and travel together.
That'd be
That's
awesome.
what they talked about.
Cool.
So
Can we come?
Do it. Can we come? We'll ask them if they can haul a teardrop trailer behind them,
And we'll just
stay in
literally
the-
haul it. We'll be on a motorcycle, and like they'll haul our trailer for us. So I have my happily ever after, but maybe real
That'd be
quick you can
funny.
do fire round. I think it's kind of like mine.
It's
was
not
kinda
that
boring.
interesting.
So like yeah, like just maybe like jump to like some of the
Sure.
5 or 10s.
So like, okay. Oh man. Okay. So.
Well, I don't know.
So like within 6 months, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
that would be cool.
Right?
Yeah. What does that mean?
What?
What does 100,000 subscribers mean?
Doesn't it mean like some kind of play button?
Yeah,
Which one?
it's silver.
Silver play button.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. I should have wrote that. Didn't. it's just kind of, replace the flooring before Thanksgiving.
Wait, hold on.
This is 3 months.
Hit 1,000 subscribers on our podcast?
100,000.
100,000
subscribers. No.
Like a silver. Can you imagine if like Brecky?
I would be like, you got to be kidding me right now. I feel like I've poured my blood, sweat, and tears into Brecky.
And all you have to do is just talk in front of a microphone, and like that's what people wanted at the end of the day. It's just to be silly with your husband.
Oh, I was just thinking about like you just like. Like whatever you do is like that's successful.
Oh,
what I do is like
nothing.
nothing.
No, you're definitely a big part of this podcast. Are you joking me?
Honey,
I was
so sweet.
reviewing. I was editing like down because I cut a section out of our last one, and I was like, oh man, this is fun. Like I appreciate you, and I realized I have been interrupting you sometimes, and I want to like not interrupt as much.
Thanks.
Yeah,
That's really sweet, babe.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was thinking.
Travel to 10 BMX races around the United States over the next 6 months.
Yeah,
are not. I know, but I just want to travel so bad. So I think.
Well, and that's the nice thing about the stream board is like maybe you do another one in 2 months from now.
Yeah.
And you look at that and say, maybe this idea is the same, but we change it slightly to fit something more appropriate to what we're into or something, right?
Sure.
So it's like I still that I wrote that because I wanted to travel around the U.S., but maybe we travel in a different capacity, right?
Yeah. No, I love that.
Or like change slightly, or we're not as interested in BMX during the winter or something.
Right. I wrote for the next 3 months, sell $500 worth of Brecky Breck merch. That's doable, right? I think we had an order the other day for like $24, so $460 left. We got this. Anyways,
I gotta order more stuff if we start selling.
What?
We gotta order more.
Not really. You spent
like
$1,500.
Well,
on that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. 1 year. Complete school with a smile. Like, we did it! Good job, kids!
See, that could be your freedom journal.
Yeah. Well, sure.
I mean,
I don't like to include, but here's the thing. It's like, if I include my kids in it, like when they're having a bad day and they just need to take a chill, I'm like, no, we can't, because you gotta help me accomplish my goals and dreams, And then it's just like, that's what I end up doing,
Oh, to me, I didn't read that as like priority number one, complete school.
I read that
complete
as
priority
school with
number
a
one
smile.
is like end the school year with a smile.
Yeah.
Not like complete school.
Well, I'm saying, first of all, being a part of a homeschooling group where I have an advisor that I'm checking in with, like I feel accountable to her, to like, hey,
who's
and
priority number one here in this situation?
The advisor. Don't let her down.
No, but actually,
kids,
like I'm concerned now.
No, I love our kids. You saw me today, babe, and it's a self-check constantly.
Yeah.
Like I have to ask myself, am I wasting time?
I appreciate.
No, I'm not.
Like
you
remember what I said? Like, hey, can you give this kid some time? And then that kid was like, no, actually, Mom, I want you to stay. Like I'm glad I did that.
I was working on my computer at the end of the table while he was.
You were working on your computer doing this.
I was faking it.
You done?
But I didn't say. I just was like, It
was good. Anyway, what I'm saying is I had that realization where I thought maybe that kid wanted some space, and their attitude was saying, I want some space. But really, it was like, don't leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like I want, like I actually want you here.
I just want you to be here with me. Yeah, exactly.
So I think that was good for me to like recognize you're good in a situation.
Yeah.
I don't need to, like,
hey, this is a good one right here. Complete the Seattle to Portland with Kylan on a tandem bike.
Oh, this is the STD. I want to get an STD with Kylan.
You have dyslexia?
No,
it's obviously a P.
P. Yes. Seattle to Portland. Got it.
Yeah, I do have dyslexia, by the way, which is interesting.
I do not have an STD, by the way.
Okay, so.
On a tandem bike, that would be sick.
I know. Well, we have to have like full out jerseys. Absolutely.
You're fine with
I'm scared if I
had to ride 200 and whatever miles
behind
looking at my butt, smelling my BO.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
What if
all
I have
day,
like
every
diarrhea
day.
or something? Kind of flicks a little bit.
It's fine. You know what I was thinking about being on? No, that's not fine. But being on a tandem bike behind you, if I get tired and you're just like what if we're pushing 23 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Like average, which I think we could probably do if you can steer us.
Yeah.
And not make us crash into all the other riders, then I am like game. Like I'll just be pedal power right there.
I need to buy a tandem bike on my list.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. You should totally do that right now.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I was thinking about this. because we've had this conversation about like CEO mentality versus manager mentality.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely like, even with Brecky Breck, I'm like, can you just tell me what you think needs to be done? And I think like your web design clients, like if I had the resources like they had to be like, Kylan, just tell me what I need to do to make this happen.
Do this, and this.
Do this, and this.
Here you go. Hire.
Yeah. But because you're like, no, this is your thing. You need to own it. I'm like, help me.
But that's the problem. That's what makes someone successful is fighting that struggle of getting there. If you were just a billionaire with all the money, that's people try to do it all the time. Like Will Smith tried to start a YouTube channel, and he has all the money to do it right, but he didn't have to go through that molding process of like becoming this creator and figuring out how to have that relationship with his audience.
Sure.
And so there's a piece of it that's
you
missing.
know
That's
a
not
celebrity that has had a really successful YouTube channel? Jack Black.
He's just funny. He just has a different
He's
approach.
funny,
I wouldn't say
and
like
he
super
includes
successful.
His son. I know. It's just entertaining. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time. Yeah, it's been a while. So,
okay.
is it sketchy and not inappropriate?
No, he just barely
Okay.
posts to it. He's just he's just famous already. So
Schneebly,
he's
or
like
what is it called?
Schneebly.
Schneebly.
Or no.
No, it's not. It's not.
That's it. That's professional.
That's right. Yeah,
Shablinski.
School of Rock.
Shablinski.
Shablinski. That's what it is.
Gaming or something.
Yeah, but it's funny because he went to an arcade and did. I don't know. He just does random stuff.
You had a voiceover.
It's been a while though,
Mr.
so like,
Beast.
don't quote me on that.
Mr. Beast video. He like read some instructions for one of their latest ones.
Oh really?
And he's relevant.
So you've watched him recently?
No, I watched
Oh.
Mr. Beast recently.
Oh, okay.
And he was in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
Anyways, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but so the tandem bike thing sounds fun because it's like, dude, I am here for like making it happen. Like I will pedal my booty off and get us to Portland on that tandem bike as long as you can just steer us.
I thought we were done with Portland.
And the
We're
right.
like,
No, like I don't want to be there, but I want to
That's
ride
good.
there and then leave it
Right.
as fast as I can.
Cool.
But I mean, I don't know. They got some good breweries.
this is kind of fun.
You're looking up tandem bikes right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sorry. Anyway.
Cool. I love it.
Yeah, I like that idea.
$600. Could that thing even hold our weight?
Look at that.
Like, that looks,
That's great.
Is that good?
It's got drop
Cannondale.
bars. It's
Oh,
Cannondale.
yeah.
You
It's got
this
drop
thing.
bars for you. That looks. I'm going to be like. My back is going to be sore. That looks like fun though. Sign me up. Well, you have to register really far in advance. See, we need to register for it on the podcast, and then it's gotta happen
like an accountability that we
Yeah.
have, right? To like all of our
And then it's
listeners.
like, yeah, and then this podcast will turn into our training regime
Yeah.
and all that.
Cool.
So-
what do you have for 3 years?
I've done 5 live library story
In
times.
3 years, 5 live stories.
I've done
That's
at least
cool.
5. Yeah.
I like the library.
Isn't that
I like the
fun?
idea of library versus like Disney special. Come on down to Brecky Breck's show, and then you got big on the stage. Hey, look over here. We got a big
Although
prop,
I want
prop,
Blake,
prop,
I
prop
want my
over here,
music
prop
man
over here,
Stan to
prop,
be with me.
Blake.
Blake, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
Can
sit
he
in
come
a
to the library
library
just
room
with his
and just with the
acoustic?
acoustic.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then
I'm
meet
just
the
gonna
kids and like talk to them.
Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
just going to do that with him
Yeah.
like next week, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Even if it's just him and I and our 4 kids in there. His 4 and my 4 makes 8. That's a lot of kids.
That's a cool show.
That's a cool show.
Yeah, we could do 5 shows real fast when they come to town.
Yeah. 1 year from now have posted 18 new Brecky Breck episodes. That's not that many. And I feel like I want to do like 24. So 2 a month.
Yeah, we can do 24. Let's just set the bar at 18, and then when you do 24, you're like, oh, crush it.
Yeah.
You know?
It just doesn't feel like that's once every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I
we'll
feel
get
like,
it. We'll figure it out.
well, the problem is like I could line up that much filmings, but like I don't have the money to buy
That's not
your
about
time.
money. That's the problem.
No, I'm saying like I can't buy your time away from web design to be able to
BMX
afford
can't buy
that
my time, but I'm still doing it. Why am I doing it? Think about that.
for your kids.
For
And
kids,
because it's
there's
fun.
someone that's leading it, has a vision. I can see the impact like materialize, and they're painting that vision. They're bringing other people in. and,
Sean is. You
yeah,
say that?
yeah.
Yeah. He's a really inspiring leader.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah,
He's a
and
good leader.
there's people that want to be around
Mhm.
that, and so that's I guess
Yeah.
take some notes.
I know. I have been.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he like gives hugs. He smiles. He's like checking in with all of his volunteers constantly. He's a good guy. Are you doing okay? How are you doing? This is my one volunteer.
Yeah, seriously, volunteer. That's better. That's more like it. How's your volunteer doing? Anyway.
Oh, I love you. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is pretty much, I mean,
Let's get
I
to it.
said
What do
buy
you
a
got for
house.
five?
I don't have that paper. The printer.
what?
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
So,
the printer. It's just a
Yeah,
piece of paper.
I
You can
know.
write on anything.
well,
You just say 5 years. I want
but I
to.
was like, tell me what to do. See? That's where the
Yeah. I
the
see.
manager, yeah. I was
no,
like,
it's not.
it's not here. I
manager-
can't come up with my own
Here,
ideas.
a good
No, that's not
manager.
true.
A good manager recognizes when there's something incomplete and figures out a way to complete it.
I know, and please don't hold me to this whatever this is.
Whatever this is.
I need to type it on a computer too. Like handwriting is so slow.
Well, you did this
compared to
before you had your
typing.
new computer. Now you have
I
a new
know,
computer.
and
need to
that's
send
why
you
I
this.
said I was gonna
Nice,
send me the
right on.
format,
Cool.
and I will.
Where's your computer?
I'll make it happen. It's upstairs.
Oh.
Because I was using it for homeschooling today.
So let's see.
Dream. No, I want you to read that thing. That like.
No, yeah, I legit. I don't have a running when I record it this way. I have no idea how long we've been running.
Oh.
Or no, let's see. We were 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 30 something. Look at my laptop's going out. Okay, so on my.
Is that what that purple line is?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it like gonna slowly go
I
up
hope
and
not.
up and up
I
and
think
up
what
and up
happened
and
is
up
I
and up?
had like a folder or something in here, and I closed this and it put pressure on it one time.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
smart.
so
What is your current happily ever after?
I'll just read it because I think this is good.
I think it is too.
And I changed it.
Well,
I'll point out
I'm
it's in this
excited
first
to
line that I
hear the
changed.
changes.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it's in the first line. So I just wrote a paragraph, a long paragraph, basically like happily ever after. What's happily ever after? Let me just envision. Like try this on. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Hold up, but you wrote this originally in 2000.
I don't know if this was from 2016.
Okay.
No, I wasn't doing that
No.
yet. So I think this came a little later.
2018, 19, 20.
We can do
where we
the
at?
research on that. I'm not going to click into all of these
Okay.
just to find
Anyways,
it.
it's fine.
There was a
but
point
it's
where
been there for a while.
There was a point where I wasn't fulfilled by just writing 10 years in the future because it was like all this is material stuff. What I mean is like all of
Well,
this
mine
is
aren't.
fleeting
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes, right.
It's
sure,
stuff
sure.
that's like it's got a time limit on it. So what does happily ever after mean? I think that's important for us to
Yes,
define.
no, it is.
As,
It really is.
As
Humans.
like friends, spouses, parents. Like what is happily ever after? Like if like what would it mean to be just content?
And I have to think about one of the dads that you invited yesterday to the thing. He is like the most intentional person that I've currently met because of his circumstances. His wife passed away and like this thing, and I'm like, and I think like the way that he interacts with people is so sweet. No, like yeah. So from my literally all my interactions, and I've probably interacted with him like 7 times.
It seems
like he is so much more like intentional and just like present and in the moment. And it's like, man, that is so important for just that framework. And even thinking about my grandma passing away and stuff and how I'm like, oh, like I can't get that back. Like life is so fleeting. You know, that last week with her was so monumental to me, for me. And I would, anyways, I don't know. I love.
So you gotta have someone die in your life.
No, but it's just you have to have a reality of like, what is life about, and happily ever after.
So instead of having someone die, why not just do this exercise?
Exactly, and I love you. I think it's just like a. Yeah.
What is your? Sorry.
No, it's good.
What is your current happily ever after? So I'll just read this. Business without family takes less than 30% of my time. I used to say 20, but I bumped it up. Like I think it's appropriate to have more time away from my family.
Sure.
And the reason why I won't do this to every sentence in there, but the reason why I did that as we were talking about like our kids are going to be out of the house. Like we're halfway done with Miles. Like
yeah.
and like if they leave early, whatever. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Like
I'm
quickest
open to
case
them
scenario.
staying around, right,
Yeah.
sure.
So that being said, what happens when they move out?
Right.
Well, what are we going to do? So it's like I think it's good for us to have healthy habits of like spending our time. And I think you and I talk about this with mothers all the time. Like
Yeah,
especially
they
stay at
get,
home
ooh,
moms.
what's happening? Yeah.
They like go through this identity crisis because they
Yeah.
put so much into their kids and they didn't have this like like, oh, this is going to end, and maybe it's sooner than I realize, right?
I would love to be an author. Like, there's a lot of things that I'd love to do.
So it's like, what can you do to now to start, not now to be an author, but now, what can you do now to prepare yourself to make that transition when it comes?
Exactly.
And I think sometimes it's like all or nothing. It's like, oh, I want to be an author, so I'm going to start being an author now.
Right.
And it's like, well, just like 5, 6, 7 years is not that long.
Right.
And the reason why I say, like, in their early teens, it's like, as they get older, they're going to start becoming more independent. We're not going to do as much stuff where we just, like, absolutely have to stay together all the time. And so there will be more and more of an opportunity for you to transition into becoming an author or whatever that thing ends up being.
Right.
So business without family takes less than 30% of my time. That does not mean working is less than 30% of my time. My family is involved in most of what I do. I can share my experiences with them to provide a wide life perspective to them. We travel together, do business together, and serve others together. I'm going to burp again.
Of course you do. Classic.
It's that, like,
I know.
dinner.
I made Mexican. Yeah.
And I'm 30 now, so it's just like,
I know.
just burp through. What was that? John Mulaney talks about, like,
Yeah,
just burping through your conversation when you turn into your 30s.
Oh, I want to watch him again. He's funny.
We travel together, do business together, and serve others together. I teach them how to lead through serving and how to never stop learning. I teach them how to ask questions and value the word why. Most importantly, we show them how to appreciate the world God created for us. This involves practicing seasons of living simply, enjoying the outdoors, farming, spending time unplugged as a family, enjoying the little things in life, playing board games, playing catch in the yard, camping, building tree houses, etc. I want to teach my kids they can do anything they want, literally anything. I will show them how to set their own foundation. I want to trust my kids' judgment and God's hand in their life so much that I never hesitate to provide 100% support of their dreams and aspirations. My heart smiles every time I lay eyes on Breck. That's butterflies.
Okay,
is what you got.
yeah. I love that. My heart smiles. That's sweet.
Yeah, butterflies. We both stay humble, both of us.
Shoot!
In our relationship and never lose the will to be challenged in that capacity.
I love it. Ditto. I want that one too.
Yeah.
Can I have that one?
Yep, you can. So that is only good if the follow-up is answered. What is keeping you from living your happily ever after now?
Nothing.
Living it right now. Thank you, Jesus.
That's a good podcast.
So, I mean,
end it. I'm just kidding. No. I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez. Crap.
No, that's great.
So nothing, I mean, obviously there's stuff that, like, I stress about, but I think when I do this dream board, it's a constant reminder that
to refocus, recalibrate.
It is. And it's like everything I just read, like, what was today? You know?
Exactly that.
The work that I'm doing to solve my stresses actually is removing me away from my happily ever after, right? I didn't write, I want to be successful, blah, blah, blah. I want to make, that's when I talk about my happily after, those things aren't included in there. And I think a lot of people would relate to that. And what's funny is that contradicts everything I wrote up here, right? These are like goals. I want to accomplish this stuff. But then when you write your happily after, it's like a reality check of like, we just went through all this material stuff. I say material because it's fleeting stuff. And then you get here is like, at the end of the day,
this
what's
is what
important,
I want. Right.
So I
Values,
think, so I think it's that balance that this part is super important when you do a dream board or vision casting or whatever you want to call it. I think vision
casting sounds super spiritual.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think that might be something different, but sounds kind of fun. Maybe next episode we'll do some vision casting.
Absolutely
You don't even know what that is.
I don't know. It sounds terrible and dangerous.
You don't know until you try it. So we'll do some ayahuasca and
I
vision
am
casting.
absolutely not doing that. You can. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Cool. I'm kidding.
Feel good?
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm pumped, and I love that you are who you are. Now, I love, when I met you, it's like, like we had a conversation about having kids and we talked about Briar's name, right off the bat. And I think your enthusiasm for family and for kids, just like,
melts the heart.
Oh my gosh.
Butterflies.
Butterflies.
So to that note, I was kind of I want to say weird because then that sets up this next sentence weird. I was different than most boys my age. I always, like, the only thing I ever thought about, like, me in the future was, like, having family. Like, I like, never thought about, like, I want to, I don't know, like, be a firefighter or whatever. It's, like, the only thing I ever thought about was, like, I want to have my own kids someday.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember even, this was pretty emotional for me, when I got hit in the balls really hard playing basketball and had to get, we should tell that story sometime, had to get an ultrasound on my balls. Funny story. In high school.
Oh, yeah, this is good.
Anyway, there was potential talk of, like, concerns for fertility.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, as being in high school going, like, I'm okay adopting, but, like, there's something special about, like, my offspring and, like, sharing that experience that has always been just, like, so deeply important to me. And so I'm so grateful for our family today. And like that has always been, like, my number one
Absolutely.
like goal before we even met. It was like, I want to have kids. And, like, I think that's such a contradiction to most male figures growing up. Is like, that's not the first thing. I want to have kids. They're like, a lot of times the stereotype is like, kids, like, I don't even know what I do with this thing. And, like, for me, like, you know what I mean?
No, I know. And you know what's interesting though is, like, you, even in your dream board and even knowing you as a young person, is like you thought about the type of dad that you wanted to be. I don't ever really think I took the time. Like, I knew I wanted to have kids, but I didn't think about, like, the type of mom that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, I hadn't taken the time to, like, draw that out, you know? And so when I had kids, with my personality, I was like, I love this, but also, like, I was having a really hard time because I was like, I have all these goals and aspirations and things that I should be doing over here that, like, I just was running into a hard, like, you know, and I still do. So,
well, and that's
I think me coming up with the Atomic Habits thing, talking about identity, process, goals, I was like, oh yeah, like, there are people that work from the goals outward to the process, and that becomes their identity. Their goals become who they are, you know, which is what I was riding on when I did the half Ironman. I was like, yeah, I'm hardcore. I became my identity, and then I was like, okay, this is actually not exactly. But so with my identity, now I'm like, oh wait, answering that question, I want to be a peace-filled, vulnerable, joy-loving, patient person. You know, what does the process for that look like? And what are the goals that are going to automatically happen from me becoming more and more of that type of person? Right. You know? So thinking about motherhood, I hadn't taken the time to figure out what is it that I want to be. And you had taken the time. You can tell that you had taken the time. This is the type of dad that I want to be. You've always been so intentional. And that has been if you want to know, hear you husband and wives fight a lot over finances. We fight over whether your heart for your children is being taken care of. And that's when you get, like, you don't cry. You cry, but, well, you cry a lot, but you cry the most about, I cry a lot. About,
like, I know you're saying that to, like, show that I'm sensitive.
You are moved to tears.
Yes.
I could tell you a terrible story about something that I saw on Facebook, and you'll instantly just break down because your heart just, like, that empathetic part of you is just...
break down, but I will get emotional. I'll feel the emotion of that story.
Right, absolutely. But I'm saying, like, your heart is, like, you get emotional when you're like, I fear that this thing that I love and value, and it's on my dream board, and it's everything that I've ever imagined, is not being well groomed or taken care of.
You're talking about my relationship with my children. The potential development
everything
of my children.
About your children and your family dynamics. You're like, so I need this to be. When I threaten that with my intensity or my anger or whatever the heck, I'm not, focusing. Like, the fears and the needs that I'm not looking at and just reacting. That's when you're like, whoa, please recalibrate and look at this so that we can all grow together, so that you can, help me accomplish my things within my heart. Right. So, anyways. Yeah. I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I don't cry that much. Like,
yeah, are you hung up on that?
no, I know there's a stereotype of men saying I don't cry, so I'm also balancing that, but I also don't like. I'm not like.
So like,
Like,
no,
that was
but
a rough
like,
day. But like,
No.
I remember living in Tulsa, and I would see the newspaper clippings of like teens getting killed in like shootings and stuff, and my heart would hurt for that teenager, thinking about like that was like a young life that was taken, and like I remember a few times like tearing up from that, and I get sad. Dads that commit suicide kills me.
Yeah.
Dads that commit suicide is like.
Sorry, that's not funny at all. This is not.
I'm trying to be serious.
I know.
Dads that commit suicide.
Yeah, it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Like, and that's something that's like, if I had to add, like
be an advocate or do something,
like it would be like, hey, you matter. The pressure that I think our society puts on dads. And it's both. It's like this back and forth. It's like you have to provide, but also like now there's this new pressure of like the woman provides, but then there's still like no, you're providing. Like
you're enough, dude. Like what you're
No, what I'm saying is like the woman provides, but like at the end of the day, it's like the pressure still. I still have to wear the pressure of like it's kind of like we share responsibilities, but at the end of the day, like I'm the one locking the doors, every night, and like you sleep more sound knowing that I am like.
Yeah, when you're not home, I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Right, but like I think that's a metaphor for like the weight that like dads typically carry constantly, and then there's this like threaten to their value that if it's not fulfilled, a lot of dads feel like. Like, oh, I don't have value in this relationship. All I am is simply providing. And so I think that's where like a split a lot of times happens, is when, the dad's a deadbeat because he doesn't feel value. Anyway, I don't know. Just from obviously there's so many different perspectives there. But for me, my heart goes towards like helping dads feel valuable, helping them take care of themselves, helping them like figure out how to prioritize like relationships with their children specifically. I have a lot of passion for that.
Yeah, you do.
So if I was running for Miss America, I would say I like to help dads in need. I don't know, something stupid like that. Anyway,
that's awesome. I love it, and I get behind that. Yeah. You got my vote.
And then I rip off my shirt and I'm smart, and then I walk across the stage like
in your swimsuit.
In my swimsuit. Yeah.
Dad bod.
Yeah, the dad of America. Oh boy. Cool. We didn't talk about taping at all today.
We did mention it earlier once, but you'll have to watch the first podcast if you want to know anything about what we're talking about here. But
all right. See ya.